Hello my feral friends and welcome to my channel. My name is Panthera and I'm the Hazelwood Witch. I'm so excited to share today's video with you all. This video is a collaboration with 5 other channels that you might recognize here on YouTube. They are Lavender Hazelwood Witches, the Norse Witch, the Wild Forest Witchery, the Occultist, and Magical Crafting. We all had a prompt to contain certain criteria in these videos, and these topics were being a content creator, working with the moon, deities, self-love, and sigils. For my video, I decided to create a spell to help boost the confidence of content creators. Not because I totally need that or anything. But before we hop to the spellwork, let me introduce you to the other creators and what their video topics are.
My name is Aurora, and I'm over at Lavender Hazelwood Witches. I'll be showing you how to use and make a moon calendar for magical purposes.
Hi, my name is Bente, I'm the Norse Witch, and in this video collab, I will show you how to cast a very easy, beginner-friendly self-love spell.
My name is Heather Lynn. I am the Green Forest Witch, and you can find me at my channel, the Wild Forest Witchery.
My name is Ivy. I am the Occultist on YouTube and on Instagram. My video will be focused on a spell to improve psychic abilities using a mega sigil with a chaos magic flair.
Hello, my darlings. My name is Amy, and I'm an art witch who loves to do magical crafting.
All of these wonderful creators, as well as their videos, are linked in the description below, so be sure to check them out after the video. As for now, let's get started with our confidence spell. So we're going to be starting off with just preparing our area here. I like to go ahead and set a candle to make lighting anything else from here on a bit easier. This mostly includes our incense. And also, it just looks pretty, right? Now this is a spell for confidence for content creators. Now this can be tweaked whether you're a content creator or not, depending on your needs. So we are going to be starting off with just the best times to do this spell. Of course, you can do this spell whenever you need to. However, if you're looking to best time this, it would be during waxing moon phases, so as the moon gets bigger through the month, or on a Friday, Venus day. So that is a day corresponding with love and attraction and so on. Sunday, corresponding with the sun, would also be a fantastic day of the week to do this spell. So if you're interested in timing it for the planetary days of the week, those are 2 great options here. Now, one of our criteria for this spell was to include deities in some way, shape, or form. So I'm just going to be including mine, as I do with most of my spell work, which is just asking to assist me in this. So I have my offering here, which is my incense. I will also be using this to cleanse my items as we go. So this is an Egyptian musk incense, as I work primarily with Anubis, but whatever works best for your deities, or you can just do a standard offering to whatever spirits you are working with. This is an optional step, and I'm just going to go ahead and light this here on our candle. All right, so now we're going to go ahead and start by cleansing our space. Now let's prepare our area. So you're going to need your candle holder, your candle, a fire safe plate or dish. This one is going to be holding the bottle while we pour the wax over top. Your bottle, or you could do this as a spell bag. I personally prefer the bottle because it's less messy, and this is going to be a shaker bottle, so you're going to be able to shake it up to get a little more action out of this whenever you need a little confidence boost for yourself. The herbs that we will be using are roses, basil. I'll be placing some Carnelian chips in my bottle as well, but this is an optional step. No need to if you don't have them. Some crystals that you might want to put in the area around your spell would be crystals that correspond with self-love or confidence. So I have plenty of rose quartz here. I've got pink opal. We also have just our confidence, more fire-based crystals like our citrines, plenty of tiger's eye, our big tiger's eye tower here, got my sunstone, pyrite, pretty much any crystals that you have that are going to correspond with confidence, right? Or self-love. I also have my little lions here. So lions are an archetypal animal that is also going to correspond with inner strength or courage. So these are a great animal to work with in this as well. We also have our horse here, which very reminiscent of the chariot, is all about motivation and keeping going, right? Continuing on your path. So another great animal to work with during this spell. Oh, and can't forget our little garnet. And all the crystals are optional. They're just extra if you want them. Then we have some options for dressing our candle as we prepare it. So we're going to be dressing in the herbs that I mentioned as well. But to prepare the base, we're going to be using a little bit of prosperity oil if you have it. So this is one of my blends. These are going to be available on my website soon. They might be up already depending on when you're watching this video. So check the website if you're interested. You can also just use standard olive oil or honey if you have it. Honey is a great self-love, kind of attracting. You're just kind of sweetening it to yourself. So another great option for dressing your candle. And then for our little additives into our jar, we've got some pink Himalayan salt. You can also just use a standard salt if you're just looking for a nice little protective base. This one has a little more love correspondences. I've got a little bit of gold flake here. I love using this in any confidence or prosperity spells. It just looks like success to me. I don't know. You could also use any gold glitter or pink glitter, whatever color is kind of representing confidence to you. And then lastly, we'll be making a little sigil, and we're going to be charging this under our candle and then also placing this in our bottle here. So I've got a little bit of just lightly tea stained paper that I made. You can check out the video on how to tea stain your own paper up here. It's just more of an aesthetic preference. I just like it more, but you could tea stain your paper with different types of teas to get different correspondences in it as well too. So if you're wanting to take it the extra step of the way. So yeah, we'll be making our sigil here soon. So let's get to cleansing. All right, now that we have our setup, let's go ahead and prepare our sigil. For the purpose of today's spells, I wanted to keep this as simple as possible, so we're going to be doing just a symbol-based sigil rather than following any sort of numerical system or alphabetical system. So we're focusing on increasing our confidence, so we're going to start with a arrow for increasing, going up, and then we're also wanting to build this confidence inside of ourselves, right? To show ourselves this love and let us know that we are worthy, right? We are worthy of what we are. Let's shoo away that imposter syndrome. So we're going to do a nice heart there. And then also to just let us be more and more confident, we're going to include a little sun up here. So we've got our confidence for increasing, and then we've got our self-love here, and I'm just going to kind of fill this in a bit and clean up these lines. Now you can use whatever sigil you'd like. Like I said, this is just a quick, simple one that I wanted to make it as easy as possible for anyone new. So that is our sigil for this spell. So we're going to be folding this up. We're folding in because we're bringing in confidence to ourselves. All right, that should be small enough to fit in our little jar here later. For now, this is going to go underneath our candle. So I've got my other candle holder here. That's just going to go beneath to charge it up. So next, let's prepare our candle dressing. I'm going to begin by coating it with a little bit of my prosperity oil just to get it kind of ready for the herbs. The honey is going to be very sticky and I want to try to avoid that on my skin as much as possible. So that's another reason why I am starting with the oil blend instead. And I am once again bringing it down towards me. Because we're bringing in, we're drawing in here. Give your candle a nice coat. I like to do a little bit on the wick as well. So I'm just going to kind of drag this down, and that should be plenty. Just kind of rolling it in the honey to get it nice and coated. So let's prepare our herbs. Got a little bit of rose petal here. I'm just going to crush it up. If you have a mortar and pestle, this is a great time to use that. I am lazy, so this does the trick. I'm also going to be using just a bit of basil in this mixture. And basil is great for any sort of abundance magic. So once again, we're also bringing in confidence here, right? And we're wanting to be successful, right? Successful and confident in our content creator path. So I think the addition of the basil here is just really helpful. So we're gonna go ahead and roll and just coat this candle. Turns out honey is not a very good substance for dressing candles. All right, so the rolling method was not working very well for this. The rose petals that I have are just a little too big. So I would definitely recommend using your mortar and pestle. I'm not too concerned about it because we will be including rose petals in the bottle, so we'll have those later. Sometimes things just don't go as planned and you just have to roll with the punches a little bit. Don't get too frustrated with yourself if one of your spells isn't working out exactly how you want it to be. Think of other ways that you might be able to include those correspondences along the way. So I'm just going to melt the bottom of my candle a little bit. Set it here firmly in my candle holder. All right, so our candle is lit. We are ready to roll. So we're gonna go ahead and get that going. All right, so our candle is lit. So we have some time as we move through this area of the spell. You can sit and meditate on the candle. What does confidence mean to you? What are the issues that you've been having with your content creation that have caused you to be lacking in self-confidence? Where do you need a little love and affection here from yourself to support you in this journey, right? This is also a great time to maybe pull some tarot cards or work with archetypal tarot cards. So I've pulled 3 archetypes here that are great to work with this particular spell. So once again, we mentioned the Chariot earlier, all about continuing your path, finding that motivation, and just like focusing on that journey. Then we have the Sun card, of course, right? Dealing with confidence, happiness, joy. And then, of course, the Strength card. Here, we're looking for that inner strength, right? That knowledge that we are strong enough, we are good enough to do this. You can also do some affirmations during this time, or chants or incantations if you wish. Some ideas for affirmations or kind of themes here might be: others find value in what I create. or people listen when I speak. Another one that might be good for imposter syndrome is my worth isn't measured by numbers, right? We are more than our follower count. And something else that you can do during this time would be to make a sort of crystal grid around your candle as you speak these affirmations or meditate. So you can just kind of determine what we want to bring more of. We've got our confidence, our self-love, our courage, whatever you might need, and go ahead and aim those. Or just a good old clear quartz for some boosting. And then while this is going, we're going to start preparing our jar here. So I've cleared off my plate so we can use this to start filling our jar. A small funnel like this one is really helpful in these circumstances. If you have one, no worries. If you don't, just do your best. I would definitely recommend a plate or something to catch your mess. We're going to start with a base of Himalayan salt and a little bit of sugar. Oh, that is way too much. That came out way faster than I expected, but that's a good amount in there, just enough to kind of cover the bottom. We need to leave enough room for our sigil here and the rest of our herbs and crystals. So we'll just put that extra there for now. Okay, next let's just get a pinch of sugar. And once again, just like with the honey, we're just wanting to be a little sweeter to ourselves, be a little nicer to ourselves. So there we are, our little sugar and salt mixture. Next is our roses. I've went ahead and shredded these up, so we're just going to go ahead and add them in. I get mine from just the store and then I dry them out. So if you're gifted or buy yourself roses, always know that you can dry out those petals and use them. It's a great way to use up your store-bought flowers before they go bad. So that's a good amount there. I'm just going to shake it up so they're kind of mixed. All right, and now we're just going to add a pinch of basil. Once again, for that abundance and attraction here, we're bringing stuff in, a little bit of prosperity. We want to do well. Next, I've got my little gold flake, or you would have your glitter if you have any. And this just kind of pulls up. Not going to do much here because, like I said before, I want to make sure that there's plenty of room for that paper. Nails look pretty, but man, they make everything harder, don't they? All right, doesn't that look great? Oh, I love it. Okay, let's go ahead and add our Carnelian pieces. Got a couple here. I think I'm going to add just 3. We'll have to make sure that they make enough of a sound, though. Oops. All right, I think we could use a little more crystal for that click-clack. So I'm going to go ahead and add in the other 2. Much better. When your shaker jar makes sound, that's when you know it's working. All right, so we're pretty much ready. We're ready for that paper underneath of our candles. So we can let this burn down a little bit, and we can go ahead and get our drips going. You can go ahead and just snake your paper out from underneath. Just be sure to be careful. If you need to blow out your candle to get the paper off, don't be afraid to, and then just relight it as you go. So we've got our little paper here. I'm just gonna squish it down a little more so it takes up less space. And insert that guy right in there. And there we have it. That's our finished jar. The jar is filled and ready to go. You could also add a little bit of oils in here. I like to keep mine dry because I find that it shakes better, and I love a good shaker jar. So now we're going to get started with our wax strips. When we're done, it's going to look something like this. This is my motivation spell jar. If you want to see that video, it'll be linked up there. But this is what it's going to look like at the end. You can you're just wanting to seal the bottle. You're encapsulating it all. So it's kind of up to your aesthetic, how many drips you want. I like mine to be kind of well-rounded and very drippy and witchy. But it's all personal preference. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Just be very careful as you pick up your candle. Do this over a fire-safe plate, of course. And you're just going to tilt it gently and allow the drips to start landing on your top of your jar. I like to do this in layers, so I'll go ahead and put about one coating on, and then I'll let it dry, and then I'll go back over and do another coating. I find that gives me the best color, especially with this very light colored candle, this yellow. I think that's going to be very necessary to get the kind of look that I want. And once again, you can use kind of whatever color you want. White, of course, can be good for any color correspondences. I went with yellow to kind of lean into the confidence and happiness that the spell is supposed to give you. I'm a big fan of color magic, so whenever I can get colored things, I do. Ooh, we almost lost it. And don't be afraid to set your candle down if you need to take a little break every now and then. When it's done, just set your candle down till it burns out and wait until your jar fully cools to grab it. It doesn't take too long. And there you are. Mine has just a little bit of those giant rose petals on top, so I'm going to scrape those off. And as soon as more of this wax cools down here, I'm just going to pop off these pieces down at the bottom. Just for a slightly more clean look. And there we have it. Our Confidence for Content Creators Shaker Spell Jar. So whenever you're feeling a little down in the dumps, like that imposter syndrome's creeping in and you think that you're not good enough or not doing enough, you can go ahead and just give it a shake and maybe speak one of those affirmations that we mentioned earlier. Come up with your own and just know that what you make is good, right? Don't let those doubts creep in. Know that you are a creative, powerful individual and that you got this. Thank you once again for joining me today on my channel. I hope you all have a fantastic evening. And until I see you next time, stay wild.